Hello, you all. Welcome to my channel. If you are a returning subscriber, what's good? If you are new, hey boo, I am back with another video. And so I wanted to say good morning to you all. And before I get started off with my day, I wanted to hit y'all with a video. So y'all see the title. God will convict you about your gullibility being on this walk, okay? And I know y'all listen like, okay, girl, what you mean? In the Bible, it says, never put your trust and faith in men, put your trust in me. Let's say you have been reading your Bible, you've been studying your word, you have a relationship with the Lord, you've been praying to him. The Lord is going to be testing you, if he is not already, to know how well do you know him. This is not play time these days, okay? We are living in the end times. And so the Lord really is going to be testing you to see how loyal you are to him. How much of a relationship do you really have with him? Because this is the thing, when you are on this walk with the Lord, you are in his class, you are taking his lesson, he wants your full attention, okay? And you know how those type of people, they come to class, they don't really pay attention, they just there, and then when it's time to take a test, they be scared. I'm like, okay, I ain't really study, I think I may fail this thing. That's how it is out here these days, okay? First of all, the Lord already knows who is walking with him and who is not, okay? That is why he is putting out these different tests. So if you have ever came to a certain point to where you was listening to certain things or you was seeing certain things and you couldn't really make out what it was being given to you, you was kind of confused about it, you was hesitant with what it was that you was to receive. But a lot of times when you are hesitant, when you receive certain things, you taking a pause and you like, okay, I mean, I've been reading my Bible all week, but what this person's saying, it sounds good, but why am I feeling this conviction? The reason why you are feeling this conviction is because that is the Lord testing you. Okay, a lot of y'all are being put through a test, being on this faith walk. And it's a lot of people out here that are failing these tests when it comes to being on this walk. And I'm going to include myself on this because, like I said before, I am not perfect, okay? We all fall short from the glory of God. But it comes a point to where you are going to be feeling as though the Lord is telling you, like, okay, you've been in my class all semester. You've been taking notes and all this, but how is it that you don't know what I have been giving you? How is it that you don't understand the lesson that I have been giving you all semester? You've been giving me your full attention. And see, this is the thing about giving the Lord your full attention and not giving praises to men and giving all glory and praises to the Lord. Going to seek his counsel first before anybody, okay? It's so many people out here that are failing this test when it comes to being on this walk with Christ. You're going to go get a quick fix when it comes to being on this walk. These are the type of people that, and see, this is the thing. When you don't want to get that one-on-one with the Lord because you impatient, you don't hear his voice audibly, you want this quick fix being on this walk, you going to other people and stuff like that, this is how you are going to feel. I wanted to come and keep it real with y'all this morning because it's so many people out here that are being deceived on this walk. And the Lord wants to know, how much of loyalty do you have to me? How much do you really know me? I mean, I know you've been reading my word, but how well do you know me? Your relationship with the Lord is going to be constantly being tested, okay? I think I said on my channel previous time before that it's all about investment when it comes to the Lord. The Lord wants you to put in an investment when it comes to building a relationship with him. And really, when it comes down to this thing, all it's going to be about is how well do you know how to test the fruits of the Spirit? How well do you know how to spot a counterfeit? Okay? You are going to be convicted about your gullibility being on this walk. And when you talk about topics like this, when it comes to being gullible, being blinded, you know, stuff like that, people may take offense to that and think that you are calling them dumb or slow or something like that, when really that's not what it is. A lot of people out here are being blinded when it comes to certain information and certain influence. And it's sad. This is not the case of how much do you know. This is Do you really have a strong relationship with Christ? Are you one of those type of people that like to get a quick fix? Okay, you want something quick. You want answers and results quick. And so you go into this, that, and that person. And you are not seeking counsel from Lord himself. You are being tested on that. Trust and believe. The Lord is disappointed with a lot of people because they are not going to seek counsel from him first. And when he put that test out there, he's going to know. Do you have faith in me or do you have faith in man? Are you putting your trust and faith in me or are you putting it in a man? This person is coming and saying my name, but you are not coming to me first. And I've had the Lord convict me about this before. That's why I'm coming and making a video about it, okay? You are going to be convicted about your gullibility. Your spiritual knowledge and your discernment is going to be constantly tested by the Lord. When you are on this walk with Christ and you are feeling convicted and confused about certain things, you may be questioning that thing like, okay, you saying this to yourself, but at the same token time, it's like the Lord wants you to come to him and ask him, okay, Lord, what do I do with this information? I'm not, it sound like it's legit. It sound like this is coming from you, but I want to know from you if you are using this person. I want to come to you first source, because right now I'm just feeling confused. Okay, we just got to admit this to ourselves that sometimes we are feeling convicted about certain things because it may sound good, but a lot of times the Lord is going to disappoint you. And us as humans, we don't like disappointment, okay? We don't want things to be too confusing and difficult, okay? And so when the Lord come drop that discernment on your spirit and let you know, I know that you thought that this was me, but this is not me, okay? This is the test that I have presented to you to show you how well do you really know me. Have y'all ever sat down and just thought to yourself? You had the Lord talk to you so many. That's why I say on my channel a lot of times that when you on this walk with Christ, it's important for you to understand the Lord's communication with you, because a lot of people, they do not know the Lord's communication. They don't know when the Lord is talking to them. The Lord is constantly talking to you, whether you want to believe it or not, okay? It's all about how well do you know his communication. Do you know what form of communication that the Lord is giving to you? He may be communicating to you in one way, or he may be communicating to you in multiple ways. It depends on how you receive this information. It's going to almost feel in a sense as though he is testing you because he is trying to sharpen your knowledge. He is trying to instill a certain kind of wisdom within you that you cannot get from no one else. This is why he wants your full attention all the time, okay? The test that you are receiving, the convictions that you are receiving, that is him trying to sharpen your knowledge. He really wants to know how well is your discernment. When you receive certain things, when certain things are being dropped on your spirit, a lot of times that is not you. That is the Lord, okay? Your intuition, your discernment, spiritual warnings, all of that is congruent when it comes to being on this walk. Are you able to decipher the difference between your voice, the Lord voice, your intuition? Because when I say being on this walk with Christ, being in his class, taking your spiritual lessons from the Lord, how well do you know him? Because you are constantly being tested, okay? You are being tested, and a lot of times you don't even know it, okay? You know how you ever went to class and you thought it was sweet, okay? You've been going to class. Y'all know how we used to be back in the day. Like, we go to class, and say for instance, you had a substitute teacher for that week. And y'all know when we get a sub, we feel like we can let loose and do whatever we want. We ain't got to listen to this teacher. You ain't paying no attention to the substitute teacher. You just acting a fool. Like, your teacher told you before they left and then y'all was gonna have a test. A lot of times the teacher would not tell you when you was gonna be tested, okay? And he just threw that thing out there like just bland-sad it completely. Y'all thinking it's sweet, you getting away with bloody murder because the teacher gone, he on sick leave or whatever, vacation leave. And you weren't even barely paying attention when the teacher was there and he told you, you are going to be tested. It's sometime coming up. I'm not going to let y'all know. This is it. He basically giving you a forewarning to let you know. You need to be paying attention to this lesson, because once I throw this test out here, you are going to be glanced at. If you are not studying, you're not taking notes, you're not paying attention, you're going to be in for a rude awakening. And that's what it comes to. I'm always using school as an analogy when it comes to describing your relationship with the Lord, because it's pretty much the same. You know, the Lord is testing you in the very same way, whether you want to believe it or not. Okay, He's throwing out those secret tests to you. And so when that sub leave and the teacher come back, first day coming back, y'all know how it be. The teacher come back the first day, you still think it's sweet. Oh, hey, Mr. Williams, how was your vacation? Oh, do you feel better? We heard you was sick. The teacher always know when his class has been acting up, even when he gone, he or she. Y'all ever know the teachers that really care about you, they are always going to be checking on you even when they gone. So your teacher already got reports that the whole class been acting a fool. Even the valedictorian of the class or the teacher's pet, they even been trying to get away with murder. They ain't even been paying attention. So this teacher already know that y'all ain't been studying, y'all ain't been paying attention to the sub, none of that. Like, y'all done had the principal call down to the class a couple of times. Like, y'all been acting a fool. And this teacher finna set y'all straight. He come in not playing no games. You know that a teacher is on business, that whenever they return from their vacation or they sick leave, they be straight serious face like, I am so upset and disappointed with y'all. And he hit y'all with, okay, it's time for a test today. Put your books away. Matter of fact, bring them up here to the front. Y'all know them days where the teacher tell y'all bring all y'all textbooks up to the front of the class, set it on his desk. You ain't finna be cheating none of this test. Put everything up here. You had all this time to study. Okay, you didn't study while I was gone. I already knew this, but today we having a test. I'm telling y'all. And I'm just describing a little bit of my communication with the Lord. I'm always excited to come share the communication that the Lord gives to me. I be taking it in so many different forms. It's amazing. But you have had the Lord convict you a lot of times like that. When it comes to certain things, when it comes to certain information. The Lord came and dropped that test on you and told you that the test is now. You are being tested right now. You don't even know it. You are failing this test. I've been giving you lessons all semester, and now that it's go time, you confused, you lost, you looking around for your pen, you are not prepared. And we are almost close to the end of the semester. It's time to go on to the next one. And you ain't learned nothing, and you've been in my class all year. Okay? That is the Lord. I'm telling you. I myself have been convicted and by the Lord a couple of times like this, where He throw that test out there to you and you are so confused. You may come to a certain point to where you may be disappointed in yourself, because you're like, okay, dang, y'all know how y'all feel when y'all have not studied for certain tests. Been so distracted during class to the point where you forget that y'all supposed to have a test coming up. It might have been certain instances to where, because y'all know how y'all got them teachers, they just drop a test you. They don't tell you when they're going to test you. But you done had certain instances where the teacher has gave you several reminders that we are having a test on this day at this time. Be prepared, okay? He write up on the chalkboard in big bold tablets. Testing on Tuesday. We are having a test on Tuesday, every day of the week. He put up there, we are having a test coming up. And you so distracted by everything that's going on in class that you forget that you had a test, okay? The Lord has probably been giving you so many different reminders to let you know this test is coming up. Are you prepared? The Lord's communication is something else, y'all. Man, when I say being out on the battlefield, and when it comes to this whole thing of going through tests, I'm talking about spiritual warfare, okay? The Lord is going to be convicting you about your gullibility being on this walk, because when you get out here in this battlefield with this spiritual warfare, He don't want you to be looking around and scared and confused and looking like a sitting duck, a deer caught in headlights. He wants you to be equipped with a certain kind of knowledge to where you are going to be able to fight this thing in the spirit, okay? This stuff is important. You get out there on that battlefield and you ain't got everything, you are going to be hit in so many different directions. You are not going to know what to do with that. You are not going to know what to do. You are not going to know you're going to be trying to run and hide up on stuff. And it's going to feel as though the Lord is going to be saying, see, this is why I told you that you needed to study. This is why I gave you several reminders throughout the year that you were going to be tested. And now that it's time for this test, you are not prepared. That is how the Lord is going to be convicting you about your gullibility being on this walk with who you give your ears and your eyes to out here. A lot of people are not being used by the Lord, and a lot of y'all are being tested to see how well do you know him. And I know you listen to this video, okay, you ain't back none of it with scriptures. And what does the Bible say about gullibility? Okay, you go to Proverbs chapter 14, read verse 15. Okay, listen. The simple believe anything, but the prudent give thought to their steps. The wise are very thoughtful when taking in certain kind of information. The wise knows when someone is not a believer of the Lord. The wise also knows who is a doer of the word. It does not matter what you say about your mouth. When you cannot bag certain things up with what you do, it's all about your actions at the end of the day. It has nothing to do with what you say. A wise person knows that a true believer is going to be a doer of his word before anything, okay? Gullible people believe anything that they see and hear. And that's what that verse and chapter is pertaining to, for the ones that want a more in-depth explanation. You have been reading your word, but you still are failing certain tests because you are not paying attention to the Lord himself. You are being convicted about your gullibility, about certain things. It's been several times to where he had presented himself to you and told you, you did not come to me first. You went to someone else. You know how when you taking a test, this might have been certain times to where we always take practice tests before we take the big test. You might have had certain instances where the teacher might have tapped you on your shoulder and be like, okay, I see you chose that answer, but I need you to kind of rethink this thing. Read the question over again. And you may want to change that answer. See, the teacher, they ain't going to come dead out and tell you that the answer is wrong. They're going to give you a little reminder and let you know, you may want to read that question over again. Because if you read it over again, you read to understand, you comprehending what it is that you are reading, you may want to change that answer. Okay? They basically giving you the cheat sheet to the test. That is the Lord. Okay? When it comes to being on this walk, he is testing you to see how well do you know him. And this is the whole thing when it comes to reading the Bible. Because y'all know how you ever been in class and you reading certain things, but you're not really comprehending it too well. Okay, your comprehension skills is a must when it comes to reading the Bible. Let me tell you, y'all, like I said before, reading the Bible takes a lot of discipline. Like, you really have to fully understand what it is that you are reading in its entirety, because that's what's going to help you with certain things. But if you don't comprehend what it is that you are reading, the Lord gonna be testing you on that too. He gonna let you know, okay, read that scripture over now. You done read this scripture like 10, 20 different times today, but I just threw a test out there to you and you failed it. The Lord is gonna know that you are not understanding his communication. When he throws certain things out there to you, he is gonna know that you don't understand because you are not applying the knowledge that he has been trying to give to you. You're not applying it to everyday situations because you are not making the right answer choice on the question that he just presented to you. So even though you read the scripture, you didn't comprehend it too well, because if you did, your answer would be different. When you are being convicted about certain things, it's going to be almost as if the Lord is telling you, what have you learned the whole time you have been in my class? But yeah, I didn't want to come keep y'all too long this morning. Like I said, this walk ain't easy, but you need the Lord himself to be guiding and ordering your steps on this walk. Nobody else can walk this walk for you. You need the Lord himself to be giving spiritual lessons to you, talking to the Lord. Okay, I'm always going to come on my channel and redirect y'all to the Lord. Okay, I just come and share my relationship with him. I just come and share my testimonies, my stories. But at the end of the day, it's going to take you building your relationship with him. Okay, all of our relationships with the Lord is completely different. The Lord wants you to build your personal relationship with him so that you can understand his communication with you. So that when it's time for you to take that test, you are going to pass it with flying colors. Okay, and so you want to be passing with flying colors being on this walk with Christ. Okay, we are going to fail a few times. Certain things we are not going to be able to comprehend too well. Certain things we are going to be confused about. We may get stuck on the answer. We may not even, you know how when you're taking a test, you got a certain amount of time to get things done. You may be feeling like you're running out of time, so you just can't just checking off anything. Take your time. Don't rush things. Don't rush the results. Patience is one of the fruits of the spirit as well when it comes to being on this walk. And I wanted to put this in here too, because when you are in a rush and you want quick results, a lot of times you are going to get more than what you bargained for when you do that, because the Lord wants you to have patience. Even when it comes to hearing from him, he wants you to be all fully locked in with him. It doesn't matter how long it may take in order for you to get certain results or in order for you to hear from him. He want to know how much patience do you got with being on this walk. Are you going to have enough patience to wait on me, or are you going to go to this, that person? Okay, that's why you got people out here getting caught up with tarot readings, witchcraft, and things like that, because they are not waiting for the Lord. Okay, they want something quick and easy. It's just like being on drugs. You want that hit of that crack cocaine. Okay, you want something that's going to fix whatever you got going on in the moment. And that is going to be your downfall right there, because the Lord is going to say, you are not practicing patience. I told you to wait for me. Okay. You are being tested in multiple ways being on this walk. This is my take on the whole thing. Now, it may be different for you. You may be seeing this thing differently, but you are able to make the correlation with what I'm talking about, because your communication with the Lord is personal, it's different. And so just know that when you are feeling convicted about certain things with being on this walk, a lot of times it's the Lord tapping you on your shoulder and letting you know, you may want to look over that question again. Don't be so quick to check off something without fact checking first with me. Reread that question. Think back on them notes that I gave y'all throughout the week. And if you've been studying well enough, your answer is going to be different. So yeah, that's just how I'm going to lead the message. Okay, hopefully I got something from this video. Hopefully it helped you in some way. Continue to protect your soul and spirit. And I will talk to y'all in the next video.